Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It is Saturday. Nope, Sunday. Sunday. December 15th, 2024. I'm the Drunk Pokeroo. 'Tis beer time. 2 days in a row, you're saying? Well, yeah, because, I felt inspired yesterday to come back today. Not an alcoholic beer, maybe tomorrow. I'm still a little trepidatious, as you can imagine. But not that there isn't and hasn't been an outpouring of nice words from people, and also suggestions for non-alcoholic beers I should try. So let's get into one from our pals, the hometown heroes. The one I've seen the most people recommend, that's not a macro, and besides Bellwoods, is a Collective Arts IPA. Did a little bit of research today. They also have a non-alcoholic lager I picked up today. We went there because they have a bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout that just came out, Origins of Darkness, so I did pick that up for maybe later. This is an IPA. It's a Simcoe, Mosaic, and Citra hops. I've read great things. You can find this at your local grocery store as well. I find the grocery stores have better selection than the LC. I know there's some companies out there that deliver to the houses, and I know some craft breweries do them, so something to look into. I'm just learning. It's like right back at the beginning. I think that the biggest thing I've taken away from a lot of the talking about non-alcoholic beers is that there is something missing, and of course there is, and you have to judge them accordingly, right? I think for a lot of people what it is when they go to a party and let's say they don't drink for whatever reason that is, be it health-wise, or other addiction issues, is they want to feel like they're part of the thing without that pressure of the thing, right? You want to walk around with a beer and you got a beer. Like if you look at that, I know there's a lot of light in here. I don't know why. The light's really bright today. Maybe it's just me. It looks like a beer. Well, it is a beer. So you don't have that, I want a beer? I'm good. You know what I mean? And I think that that's part of what a lot of people, when they're drinking these things, is for. Or they just don't want to have a beer. Right? I don't know. I struggled with them when I drank a lot of beer because I was like, well, what's the point? And now I'm like, there's a point. Right? You grow as a person. You're supposed to grow as a person. Let's get into it. Cheers, my friends. Now, I've drank a lot of Collective Arts beers over the years. We've been doing this for next year, be our 10th year, making videos about beer. And I've drank a ton. And, Ransack the Universe is probably one of my favorites. And Good Monster kind of replaced it as we've gone over the last couple of years as my favorite IPA. This is pretty good. Again, there is something about non-alcoholic beers that is missing. Which is okay. Again, we have to judge them differently when we look at them. We have to look at them from the perspective of they are what they are. In terms of this is head and shoulders above the PC one. It's more like a hazy IPA. It definitely has mango, pineapple, grapefruit. There's a bit of pine on the back. It's okay. It's a decent IPA. And when I say it's a decent IPA, I'm sure after I have the second or third, I'm going to be like, this is pretty good, right? Because you get used to these things. And I haven't had beer, for 12 weeks. Like 12 weeks ago tonight was the last night I had a bunch of beers. The last night I allowed my mind to be altered by anything, and it's weird that I haven't. I want to maybe do some weed or something. I don't know. But I want to talk to the doctor first, obviously. When you don't alter your perception at all, and you've had a challenge to your perception of your own mortality, that is a weird place to be. Like when my heart rate goes up, and I'm just like, ooh. And then you start contemplating these dark and deep thoughts, and then you're like, oh man, you can't think like that. Because you can't live like that, right? You can't live in that. You got to live with the hope for the future, that there is a future. So that's the thing. You got to find this balance between accepting that you have to be a better person in terms of your lifestyle. You have to do things you'd like to be here. And then you also have to say, hey, sometimes you got to have a good time. You got to have a couple. It's okay to have a couple of beers. Unless the doctor says it isn't, and then it isn't. Because, let's face it, if they look at you and you just pretty much your own fault. That's how you ended up here. And you're like, well, yeah, of course. And also when a doctor tells me something, I'm like, well, you're a doctor. I'm the idiot who ended up here. I'm going to listen to you. But this is good. I like this. And this was very highly recommended. There's a few others we're going to get into over the next week or so. I don't know if I'll go every day because it's a lot right now still. I still struggle with some other things that I'm working through personally. But I think I'm going to try and do it a little more often because I do enjoy talking to myself and talking to you. So thank you to everybody who has reached out. I really do appreciate the comments. Even if I don't respond, I do see them. I try to give you the thumbs up with a love, and I appreciate that. And I'm here, and I'm here to let you know how we're doing. But let's get it and go watch. We're gonna watch Muppet Christmas Carol, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Might be the best version of the Christmas Carol out there. I'm not kidding. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's amazing. Cheers. You know what's weird? After I have 3 of these, and I'm like, nothing has changed up in my head. I find it bizarre because mentally I'm like, oh, I'm drinking a beer, but I'm not. And yeah, I don't know. It's a lot to wrap my head around. And a lot of this takes me right back to the early days of trying craft beer, and there is a little bit of fun in that. There really is.